Alrighty, welcome back to the Net to Net podcast. I'm your host, Scout, here with the Kirsches, Casey and Cable. Um, we're back for another soccer episode, and I'm going to throw it to Casey. How we boys doing?
Doing well, man. We had another great week of soccer out in especially in Spain. My Barcelona looked like the best team in the world yet again for another straight week. Beating Girona 4-1. Caleb, how did your team do this weekend?
Yeah, it's real funny. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow.
We'll
Hey,
talk
we're
about that later.
hey,
We'll
we're
we'll
talking
start
about
off
all of
with
our.
the best team first, Barcelona beating Girona 4-1 in dominant fashion. That makes us 5-0, undefeated, 15 points in 5 matches in La Liga. Lamine Yamal, superstar rising with 2 goals. Dani Olmo with a 47th minute goal, and Pedri with the 4th goal in the 64th minute. Um, we look amazing right now, and I'm getting excited because we really haven't looked like this that often, other than the one season when we won the league with Xavi 2 years ago. But right now, we look like the best team in the world, and it's crazy to even say that, considering there's teams like Real Madrid or Man City or even Bayern that are still playing good football. But right now, we just look a lot more like a unit. I guess we're pressing a lot more than we used to under Xabi. We look in physical top shape right now. We're passing the ball around as much as we ever did, and we have a lot more creativity with a lot of the same players. Like I brought up Yamal a minute ago, he has 3 goals and 4 assists in 5 matches in La Liga, and for a 17-year-old, that's unheard of. He's looking like the best winger in La Liga currently, definitely a top 5 in the world.
Stop.
This season he has been
Stop.
the best winger in La Liga this season. Okay, I don't even think Sam would dispute that. But we'll talk about that in a minute when I pass it over to Sam.
But
Pedri
yeah, there's a
looks.
reason why that
Hold
he
on,
would say that
hold on,
probably.
hold on. I didn't cut you off. Pedri looks back. He's in top physical fitness as well. Another goal for him, his second of this year. Dani Olmo, this 3rd goal in 3 games. He scored an amazing goal with the right side of the box, impossible angle, shooting it across goal, across the goalie. He did pick up another injury, though, which is worrisome. He's about out 4 to 5 weeks. And that's kind of the only knock that's been on his career so far is injuries. But hopefully we should be having De Jong back this week. Gabby's getting closer to getting back as well, so we should have some more reinforcements coming in. But ultimately, we look dominant over Girona this past week.
Yeah, I'd just like to point out the reason that you would say Yamal is number one in wingers in La Liga is because Real Madrid's attack has not been ideal. 4 pens in 5 games, so that makes sense for now. But we all know Vinny's clear,
I
clear
didn't say he's not a
of
better
Lamine
player.
Yamal.
I didn't say Yamal's a better player. I said he's been better this season.
Well, yeah, because the Mbappe show has started and Vinny isn't even getting his flowers. So I still think Vinny is the best player in the world, but Scout 4 pens in 5 games. It's just as funny. Madrid fans are all complaining about Messi getting pens in the World Cup, and then their team just gets only pens the entire season. I just think that's kind of ironic, and I don't hear any complaining over that. So, um, you know, against Betis, Betis was better team for parts of that game the other day, and guess what happens? Two pens. What a surprise! So, you know, um, if you'd like to respond to that, I'd just like to hear what you have to say. And also real quick, I wanna push back on Barca as well. I just can't wait for their yearly injury crisis to happen, and then
It's
dropping a
already
couple
starting,
games.
And
unfortunately.
Eric Garcia
And
starting at center back with
and
Indigo
then
Martinez.
He played good for
Oh.
Girona last season. Don't
and
count
then
him out
they're gonna
this game.
scramble for a signing they can't register. I mean, it'll happen
It's
eventually.
gonna
So
come January, and Araujo's gonna be
We're
back
signing
from
our
injury,
Nike
but they
deal in
can't.
January, so we're
But
gonna have
they
a lot
can't.
more money. Actually,
But they can't register Araujo.
we're. Did you see our salary cap just doubled because of the Nike deal this spring or this January? Yeah. So we're gonna be the highest paid club for shirt sponsor. So,
Yeah.
not Real Madrid because we sell more shirts than them. So
Madrid has better jerseys this year than Barca for sure.
we sell more
Now,
jerseys.
They
That's
have
what
much better jerseys. Their orange jersey is better than anything you have this season. So
I love our jerseys, dude. Our away jerseys.
they're not
top
better
tier
than
as
the
well.
orange one. I'm telling you right now, they're not better than the orange one.
just since we're on the topic of Real Madrid, we can talk about them. First of all, against Betis, we had one penalty, sir. One penalty.
Okay. Sorry, I was confusing it with a different game where you got all pens. Sorry.
Sociedad, we had two. We had two. Real Betis, we had one, because Mbappe was also assisted by Valverde for the first goal before the pen happened.
Which is probably the assist of the season. Yeah.
And then, it's gonna take some time to get used to. It's a front three that's never played together. And then you're trying to compare it to three players that have played together longer, and Yamal, Rafinha, and Lewandowski, who played pretty much a full season or a half a season together, compared to a team that's barely played together. So it's going to take time to get used to. And then going back to what I've been saying, we're missing a Toni Kroos-esque player in that position that can control the game. We don't have that. It's just we don't have it, so it's going to take time. We are also having an injury crisis as well, but we're still getting wins. Tchouaméni and Bellingham are out. Camavinga's still out. Mendy just got back. Militao wasn't fully healthy, but he played last game. Same thing with Rudiger. So we're having some injuries, but we're still getting wins. But probably by middle of the season, we'll get it together, and we'll probably be at top of La Liga. I'm with Caleb on that one. We've seen this from Barca where they've started off hot and they've kind of crashed and burned, and because they've been in too many competitions and so on and so forth. Because they are in a lot of competitions. Champions League. This is a different Champions League format. This is going to be a different breed for teams, especially if they don't have
too.
more games, and if you don't have the depth, you're probably going to get screwed. And it's going to be, and it's not like you can play your bench / your youth teams against some of these teams anymore. It's not going to be like you play one good team and then you play a really bad team. You're now playing the majority of your games are against big opponents in top 5 leagues, and Real Madrid's going up against the likes of Milan and Leverkusen and Liverpool, just to name a few. So those are big teams. Those are teams you cannot sleep on. And yes, it's a little bit different, but it's going to take time. And I think Real Madrid will bounce back. Once we get some of our guys back, we'll be fine and we'll be clicking on all cylinders. And another injury crisis, we just lost Brahim Diaz for about 3 months, so that's great. He's been playing pretty well. So we'll see what happens.
Maybe Arda Güler will get his chance for once.
Güler always gets his chance. He's been very
Doesn't
well.
really seem like it.
Bellingham is back, isn't he? Isn't he coming back here? Same with Tchouaméni.
Bellingham and Tchouaméni have just got back to training. Güler picked up a knock in international duty, so he didn't play last game.
Yeah.
So he's injured.
So that means Bellingham and Tchouaméni will be back in a week, probably, something like that.
And Rodrigo.
They might play this week.
Vinny and Rodrigo didn't. They came back late from international. That's why Rodrigo didn't start. Tchouaméni and Bellingham probably won't be back until the weekend. I don't think they're playing tomorrow. I think Carlo already said they're not going to play. So it'll be interesting to see. But as long as we can keep the somewhat of our team healthy. We still have the veteran leaders of Carvajal, who had a phenomenal season, probably the best right back in the world at the moment. We have Courtois,
Koundé.
who's
Koundé's playing well. He's
Carvajal.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, Carvajal's had from last season to now has been the best. Courtois playing back from injury, finally healthy. He's probably a top 2 goalkeeper in the world at the moment. I would probably say either Ederson, the way he's been playing this season, he's been playing amazing, or honestly Ter Stegen from Barcelona. He's been playing unbelievable. Those 3, I would say, are probably the top 3 best keepers in the world right now.
You leave out Allison for some reason. Once
Yeah,
again, no idea why.
He's struggling,
He's really struggling. 1 goal against him all season. Yeah, really struggling.
I don't think it's one goal.
It's been 1 goal.
I don't know about that.
That was
I think
a wonder.
better than
That was a
Ederson.
wonder. It was a wonder strike. Literally a perfect strike. No goalie in the world saving it. But
but
he's
Ederson,
he's really struggling over here.
I would say Ederson right now, just because Ederson, the way he can literally start a counterattack from his own box and get assists.
So
right?
can Allison.
I believe Ederson has 2 assists right now. Allison doesn't.
Because we have playmakers that do it for us.
Because City's better, but it's okay. But going back to what I was saying, Courtois is top 3 keeper in the world.
Okay, so then Ederson is worse than Courtois then.
Did I say
you
Ederson
just said if you
was
assist, then you're better.
3? I didn't say anything.
So Ederson's better than every goalie then.
I said I mentioned Ederson, Ter Stegen, and Courtois right now are probably the 3 best keepers. You can put them in any order right now, off of form, based off of this season so far. I would say those are the top 3 in the world. You can make an argument for Alisson. You can make an argument for Donnarumma right now. You could probably make an argument for
not Donnarumma. Dude.
You just put Donnarumma in that.
Donnarumma and PSG have been playing pretty good, and if you been watching,
they have, but it doesn't matter. He's still not better.
Saves. He's been making some great saves.
He's not in the convo anymore, unfortunately.
He's not.
I think he is still. I think he's still a top 5.
You're living in, I don't even know what year, 2020?
Living in FIFA.
I still think he's pretty good still.
He's pretty good, but he's not in the top 5 conversation.
I think he could be.
He could be,
or
maybe top 10.
I'd say 5. I'd say he's at 5, and I would say top 10. But he could be at. I think he might be at 5 right now, just the way he's playing. I think he's playing pretty well. But going back to what I was saying, I think Real Madrid, they'll bounce back. And also, I will agree with Kirsch. Vinny is the best winger in the world right now. There's a hands down undisputed.
Would you say he's the best player in the world?
He should win Ballon d'Or.
And you didn't answer the question.
And if he doesn't win Ballon d'Or,
who's the best player in the world?
Vinny.
Oh, okay. Well, you could.
Vinny is the best player. He should win Ballon d'Or. If he doesn't win Ballon d'Or, it should go to Bellingham. And if it doesn't go to either of them, then it should go to Mbappe. It's literally those 3. And then maybe Rodri. He is probably the second best player in the Prem.
I put Rodri second over Bellingham. Impact on his team, winning the Euros. That's more important than anything Bellingham's on.
True, yeah. Bellingham was so crucial for them in La Liga, though. I mean,
yeah, he helped them win the double.
League.
Towards the beginning of the season, then he tailed
off. He also
off.
played really well for England too.
Yeah,
England overall was.
He played very.
His goal was the
semifinal.
Had
a great goal. He had a great goal.
He helped his team in La Liga, Champions League, and Euros. So I would say his impact. He had the goals. He had the assists.
I honestly think he probably should win over Vinny.
I would. It's that.
I think he was more consistent than Vinny, though. That's Vinny. He played better in the later stages of the Champions League, which is you could argue is way more crucial. But
yeah,
Bellingham week in week out was just. I think he was just better. But Vinny is still probably top 2 player in the world right now. I'd probably say Haaland's playing better.
It's that conversation that if Vinny doesn't win it, it will be a Real Madrid player. It's just like that. It's the one year with Modric and Ronaldo being 1 and 2. It's like I'm fine with either one. I don't really care as long as it's a Madrid player hoisting the Ballon d'Or in November, I'm fine with it. I don't really care who wins. Now, if it's someone like outside of Real Madrid player or Rodri, then I'll probably have an issue with it because they don't deserve to be in that conversation. I don't
Even
think.
if Haaland won it.
No, just because outside the Premier League, he hasn't done it. He can't. He hasn't propelled his team on the international stage like Rodri or Vinny or Bellingham have. Because
Vinny's Vinny's negative is his international play. I mean, have you seen Brazil
but he
play?
at least got his team to an international competition. Haaland has not gotten his since coming onto the scene.
I mean,
Haaland has not brought Norway to an international competition. They're
bro.
falling
He's
short.
Norway, not Brazil.
Sam,
but
Copa
we
America.
talk about the teams that you're playing in Europe. You're playing like San Marino. You're playing San Marino. You're playing Albania. Like you're not playing.
But Sam, here's the thing: the qualification for Copa America and the South America tournaments is a lot easier to get in because it's a lot smaller.
I know that.
But the competition is harder in South America than in Europe.
Yeah, but I'm saying Vinny's replicating.
So Haaland has it easier.
What I'm saying is Bellingham and Vinny and Rodri and Mbappe are replicating what they're doing for club at the international level. What I'm saying is Haaland is not replicating what he's doing at the international stage with Norway. And you have the likes of Odegaard. Who else do they have? The Roma winger, he's pretty decent. Who else do they have? They have a decent team, I would say.
Not really.
I can never say his name.
Not really.
They have some other guys who I'm blanking on.
Elyounoussi?
Not Elyounoussi.
He used to play for Southampton like 5 years ago?
No. Okay. No. They have Odegaard. They got Antonio Nusa, who's a young up-and-coming winger. They got Seth Berge. They got Jorgensen. They got Solroth, who just signed a huge contract with Atletico. So they have a decent... Oscar Bob was playing very well until he got injured. So they have a decent team. It's just...
if they were in the Euros this past summer, they'd be towards the bottom half for sure. Yeah. They'd be going third or fourth place in the group.
Well, right now they're in second place in Nations League right now behind Slovenia. But you're telling me Norway wouldn't probably do as well? Would you say Norway would do either the same or better than Slovenia did in Euros?
Oh. That's the thing, though.
There were some teams that you could replace.
We haven't seen Haaland in a high pressure game for Norway.
He hasn't been able to replicate his form at the international level than he has at club. That's all I'm saying. He's their last game against Austria.
But I think the original point of this conversation was that Haaland can't do it for his international team, and then we've also seen Vinny also can't do it for his international team. Vinny for Real Madrid, best player in the world, but Vinny for Brazil, not the same player. But you think about this, Vinny. You're thinking about
Vinny coming off, going deep into the Champions League. Champions League finals in April?
We saw Carnival do it.
Okay, Carvajal is different. Carvajal is a lot different.
Don't bring Carvajal on this. He should not be in the Ballon d'Or conversation. Don't even bring it up.
I'm not saying that.
I'm
saying Sam's point about Benny going deep into the Champions League and all that. It doesn't make sense because Carvajal just did it with Spain, and he looked like the best.
Yeah, but Carvajal didn't start.
Like one of the best players.
Carvajal didn't start the first 2 games of Spain. They brought him in. They gradually brought him in. They had Jesus Navas start, I think, the first 2 games.
But he still played a lot of minutes.
But he was able to rest those first couple games. Vinny was just thrown. Same with Rodrigo. They were both thrown right into the Brazil starting team and had to go. They hadn't had that time to
What about Bellingham then? Bellingham played well right off the bat.
He started off kind of slow in the Euros.
He had a goal.
England started off slow in the Euros.
Exactly. He had a goal, but his game wasn't great.
Yeah,
he's
you can score 4 goals and still not have a good tournament because you're outside of those goals. What have you done? What was your contribution to the game? How was the build up play? How was your tracking? How was your
So you're saying goals aren't everything? Is that right,
goals
Sam?
aren't everything? What I'm saying,
Mm.
in those situations,
In those situations, yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. There's the difference between you see the only person that had a great tournament right off the back from the Euros in Copa that came from Real Madrid was probably Valverde. Because he could run 90 minutes and go play the next day and still run 90 minutes and still look amazing. That's just how Valverde is. But most of these players, they need the rest. They need time to be able to recuperate their bodies and then be able to go back in.
So are you suggesting that Vinny and Rodrigo take a break from playing for Brazil? Is that the suggestion?
No, I don't think so. I just didn't think they should have started
I thought
the first couple games.
Didn't have the rest that they needed.
I think they should still be there, just maybe not play or start the game. Maybe come on in the second half or play 20 minutes in the second half or something like that. Or only play the first.
I vaguely remember when one of the games, at least before the Copa America, Vinny, because it was his first game, I think, with his new the extensions he put in his hair, so he came on towards the 60th against Mexico, and then he crossed the ball and then he scored. Now,
yeah, and
I mean, that's an example.
But it's also Mexico. Come on, Mexico is just garbage.
Do you know they were parking the bus? They won 1-0.
They're a terrible.
Brazil won 1-0.
Mexico is what we call in purgatory. They have nothing going for them for the next 4 years until 2026 when
they just signed a new coach they
signed a new coach
hosting the World Cup. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They won't do anything until 2026 in 2 years, and their new coach is not in their plans for 2026. The coach they hired, they told him that Ralph Marquez is taking over the national team when it comes to the World Cup in 2026. They just brought him in to kind of mentor Rafa, because Rafa's never coached a first team, a first senior team before. He's only coached, what was it, the under 21s.
You already know though, Sam. You already know
that's why they already made that announcement when they signed whatever his name was.
Gotcha. I understand. I think it's Javi Aguirre or something like that.
He coached them before.
Here's the thing: you already know that Rafa Marquez has a good football IQ. He has a good football brain. If you
don't know how
him
good of
back
a coach but you don't know how good of a coach he is. We've seen good players be terrible coaches.
And here's the thing, Sam, about Mexico too. They were in a cycle of repeating the same old players over and over again. I mean, they had Guardado playing up until about a couple months ago.
Honestly, if they had Guardado playing right now in Copa, they probably would have done better. I think if they would have brought up...
His legs are gone, dude.
Henry Martin, if they would have brought up... if they had Ochoa, if they had...
I don't think they're going to do anything in the World Cup regardless.
They won't.
Though.
100. I'm not saying they will.
Okay, I thought you were.
No, I'm saying that they're going to be better in a few years than they are now. They'll do better than they are now.
Those older
They'll be a third place finish in their group. Come on.
Yeah. And
maybe
let's think about
fourth.
this. You leave off Irving Lozano. That made no sense to anyone. It doesn't matter who.
Cesar Huerta's in better form than him. What do you expect?
And look how they did. They didn't get out of their group. It's just what it is.
The past 2-3 years they've started Irving Lozano. I don't even know if I've seen him score. I don't even know if he scored even.
And Mexico and most of Mexico's players are not playing at a high level. Most of them are back in Mexico or playing I don't even know where.
Edson Alvarez is playing in
Mexico? Other than Edson Alvarez, and really that's it. Maybe Julian Araujo.
Yeah.
That's it. Are playing in Europe right now. 2 people.
Santiago Jimenez is playing in Mexico still.
Okay. Santiago Jimenez, but he didn't do anything at Copa. If you can tell me what he did
they benched
at
him.
Copa.
They benched him for Henry Martin with the old coach.
But when he started, he didn't do anything. He started 2 of the games. Came off in the 75th minute because he didn't do anything. He was just there.
And I'm saying in 2 years, Mexico will be better than they are now. I will bank on it easily.
I think
They'll
the
be
US
better,
will
but
get
they
the
still won't be any good.
Mexico
The US will
can't
get
go
farther.
up.
The US
Mexico
with Poch will
can't
get
go
farther.
5 years. Oh, sure, I agree with that. But Mexico can't go 5 years with being bad.
They can,
As
and
a
they
country,
will.
they will not accept
They're
it.
going to, dude.
Yeah, I will put
I
money
disagree.
down. I will make a bet right now that Mexico in the 2026 World Cup will do horrible, and they will still be bad this year and next year. Because, one, it's the same thing with the U.S. that I have an issue with. They're not qualifying for the World Cup, so they're not playing meaningful games. So they're playing friendlies, which are glorified, and we're not going to bring in our best players every time.
Well, and
we're not going to play good competition.
the U.S.
So-
just tied New Zealand the other day. That was off a fluke. It was a fluke. It was an
New
absolute
Zealand's
fluke.
not good. But look
Exactly.
at who we,
Exactly.
but look who was starting on that team. Pulisic was on the bench. Weston McKennie was not called up. Tyler Adams was not called up. Yunus Musa came off the bench.
You're supposed to play.
Tim Ream played. I'll give you that. Chris Richards played. But
Morris?
outside, Morris played, but he's not a part of the starting.
They subbed him out,
starting
and
team.
then 5 minutes later they get scored on.
Like, are you telling me that Lucas Della Torre is going to be a starting midfielder in our midfield going into the World Cup?
I never said that.
Exactly. Those players that played against New Zealand, most of them are not going to start, except for maybe probably Ballon, maybe Eunice, depending on the status of Tyler Adams, because who knows if he's ever going to be healthy, and Chris Richards, or like 3 that are going to start.
I don't know. I'm not sold on Chris Richards for the U.S.
I'm
back
sold
line
on Chris
either.
Richards. I think
he's going to get better, dude.
Him and Miles Robinson are going to be so great together.
Robinson, if he starts in 2026, just end the tournament, dude. Just end it. Just end the tournament.
What's wrong with Miles Robinson? I know he's
not good.
He's very good.
You're talking about Mexico players not playing in Europe, and then you want Miles Robinson to start for the U.S. team.
He's like one of those few non-playing in Europe that is pretty good.
Mexico says about their players too.
Yeah, exact same thing.
It's one of the few players that can play not in Europe.
Look at it. Listen, it's either him, Cameron Carter-Vicker, who last time Cameron Carter-Vicker played, he looked lost, did not know what he was doing. Gonna tell you one good thing he did. Mark McKenzie, who plays in second division of France
I'm not
now.
sold on our defense.
Miles Robinson is our best center back to pair up with Chris Richards. Out of the pool we have, he is the best.
I'd take Carter Vickers off.
I'm not taking Carter Vickers because he's probably not going to be healthy by the time we
get to he had such a great Olympics. Let's pull him up. He had such a great Olympics.
That's old reliable.
Ugh.
Literally.
I'm worried about the goalie because Matt Turner sucks.
All right, well, while we're on the topic of the U.S. national team, we did just hire a new manager, the former Chelsea manager, Pochettino.
Our national team should just be called Chelsea FC because we literally have both of the Chelsea coaches.
Yeah, man, same way.
Yeah. Sam, I guess we'll go to you first. Poch, you watched a lot of his games last year with Chelsea and how bad they were. So how is he going to positively, not negatively, positively improve the national team going into the 2026 home World Cup?
Yeah, Poch is a good coach who can get the best out of players. He's good at developing players. We're talking about a team that he came from at Chelsea. They started clicking at the end of the season because he knew he was playing. When you have a squad that's 45 players, it's kind of hard to find a right team. And that's Chelsea's issues from a whole other standpoint, which we can talk about later. But Poch
is going for hours about that.
Yeah, we could. And you can hear my
already rant. Gone on for hours.
It'll be my Chelsea rant for the day, and it'll be just like Taylor Twellman. It'll probably be explicit words said during that conversation. Just like Taylor Twellman did when the U.S. didn't qualify in 2017. But that's here and there. We're going to the World Cup. But Poch, everywhere he's gone, he's been able to develop teams and players. We saw it at Southampton. We saw it at Tottenham. We've seen it at PSG. We've seen him get the best out of people. And at Chelsea, he got good performances from certain players. He's developed, like I said, he's Gareth Bale, Jan Vertonghen, Alderweireld, Danny Rose, Kyle Walker.
Cole Palmer.
He's been able to get the best out of their players. I think it's going to be a great thing that we got him because we need a winner. We could not sign another American. It's it's not going to work. We need a foreign coach that knows tournaments, that is confident, that knows how to win. Poch has won. He's gotten teams to finals before. Now, my thing is, what formation are we going to play? And he liked to play the three in the back at Chelsea. He liked to play the three in the back at PSG. At Tottenham and Southampton, he liked to play 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3. It's going to depend on the personnel that he brings in. But I like it because he brings in a new slate. No one's safe, except for probably Pulisic. No one else is safe. Everybody has to fight. Everybody has to have that dog mentality to come in and prove why they need to be there. Like Aiden Moore's, I think these two friendlies proved why he should be there. I don't know if he should be starting, but I think he should be there. I think we have something that we can build off of. Now, can we put it together in this World Cup and have a better thing? And just to give a shout out to Timothy Weah, because if he did not get sent off, we would probably still have Greg Berhalter as our coach. So that's all I got. That's what I got on that. But I like the Poch signing. I think out of the people that we've talked to, because I believe we talked to Klopp, we talked to Zidane.
No, we didn't.
We actually did talk to both of them.
They sent him a message, and he hit the decline button.
We talked to Xavi. We also talked to Xavi, and we also talked to Marcelo Gallardo as well. And I think Poch was the right choice. I don't think Xavi would have been a great choice. Zidane, because of the language barrier, because he doesn't speak English, so that's an issue right there. And then Klopp didn't want to because he wanted to take a sabbatical. I give it a year before he takes over Nagelsmann's job, because I think Nagelsmann's on thin ice in Germany.
I disagree. Okay,
but I like the Poch signing. I think out of anyone that we could have gotten, it works.
yeah. I think Poch punches above his weight. I think that's one thing I like about him. You know, it's he doesn't always get over the finish line, but he punches above his weight. I mean, when you think about it, you brought up Southampton. We thought they were going to be in the top, what was it, 7th or 8th, I think, in their first or second season. I mean, pretty unbelievable. Spurs, punching above their weight, getting second place. I mean, it's pretty unheard of for a Spurs team. Chelsea finishing 12th and then somehow getting 6th. Punching above his weight. I mean, hopefully we can, at least get to like semifinal. That would be amazing if the US could get to like a semifinal at the World Cup. That would be unreal. And Skull, you said that only Pulisic's safe. I feel like Dest and Robinson also are kind of safe.
McKennie? You don't think so?
I would agree with Robinson. I could agree with Robinson.
I think he'll start.
I could agree with Robinson. Dest, it depends on how he comes back from this ACL. Because
the fully fit Dest starts any day of the week.
Yeah, I would
over
take
a fully fit Joe Scally. I'm sorry. I used to be on Joe Scally, but I don't think Joe
Scally's going to be there. I think Fosse's going to be there. The young winger from right back from Fulham that played.
I forgot about Ballon too.
Oh,
he's not safe, I would say.
Yeah, because if he
can't start Sargent?
No,
if Pepe makes
Do you think Pepe's gonna start?
No, Pepe will not be there.
It's possible.
It will be Haji. Haji will be there, if anything.
He scored in the last game.
Pepe also is not.
Apparently, he never scores too. That's what all these US fans say about him.
He doesn't.
You gotta get him in Texas. He scores more there. We all know that.
Well, we're not playing
him in Texas games.
Yeah, pretty much.
Schedule all the World Cup games in Texas.
Now, I would say everybody's not safe except for Pulisic. I'll go with Robinson and Dest. I don't think Weston McKennie, after that Copa America performance, showed that he should really be playing. I think Eunice made more of an impact than Weston did.
Yeah. You think Turner will start?
I hope not.
No.
I honestly hope not.
I think Turner might be there. He might lose his. I think solely he won't be there is because he's not playing it. He's not playing.
Who's going to start then?
Schulte, I think, has a shot. The young keeper from Barcelona,
Yeah.
Diego. What's his last name?
He's not better than
Kopacek.
Schulte. I'm not accepting that.
He's better than
Uh,
Schulte.
Gaga Salina. He's playing. He's been playing
He's in
phenomenal.
Barnsley,
In
isn't
Yeah, and he's been playing phenomenal. I think he was in. I think he was
he? I would
nominated for
say,
like Player of the Month
yeah.
at Barnsley,
I
and
think
then
that's
he's
a
been
little
playing
bit
really
low
well.
for his. I think it's a little bit low for his ability, if you
Yeah,
ask
but you think
me.
about this. In 2 years, he could be at Chelsea being the number one.
Yeah, but
If he keeps playing very well, I think he comes back and plays. I think he could be in goal. Gio Reyna, I don't think is safe due to not playing,
it's like
being
sending
injured.
Bronny James down to like the Turkish league or something. Like it's not the same. He should be playing at a higher level.
Well, the problem is the players that are in front of him. Robert Sanchez is a proven Premier League goalie. Petrovic played all last season and he
Yeah, they
was
have like 8
fine.
goalies, Caleb.
Yeah,
So
we
it
have
might
Well,
be
like
no,
a
tough.
million
no,
goalies.
I'm saying the lone choice. I'm fine with him being on loan. I'm saying the choice of a team it could have been better.
Well, yeah, but
Like I was hoping, like at
maybe
least
there was.
like
Well, you have to also think about it. Maybe there was a better team, but he might not play week in and week out. That's the thing. You want to be playing week in and week out. You
I
want to
understand.
be.
There's plenty of clubs, I'm sure. And they got that
Depends.
loan earlier in the window. It wasn't like the last day or something.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't think Gio's safe. I don't think Tim Way is safe. I don't think Tyler's
If we play
safe.
three at the back, then
I
Timothy
don't want
Weah
to play.
has a chance to be on that right wing back.
I don't want to play a three in the back. We're too vulnerable in the back.
Yeah, I don't think 3 in the back
We won't
works for
play a
us.
three in the back. I think we'll go a
We need
4-3-3. I think
4-3-3. Yeah.
So just do the Berhalter. Okay.
Yeah, with better players,
Yeah, bring
better
Berhalter
coach.
back.
God no. Jeez, I would not. No, I was thinking about this. Who is like the all-time starting 11 U.S. team? Like at every position. Like what is? I was thinking about this a couple days ago. Like who is our best player? Who is our best player at every like in a 4-3-3? Who is our best?
Dempsey up top.
Dempsey, Donovan, Pulisic up top.
Yeah. What about the
That's
midfield?
obvious. We got Howard in goal. That's obvious.
Bradley.
Yeah. Yep, that's
Bradley.
obvious. Would you go Reyna?
McKinney.
No. Would you go Claudio? Would you go Tab? Would you go Jermaine? Adams? McKinney? Like I'm thinking it's Bradley. I'm thinking it's Bradley, Dempsey, and Claudio. Dempsey at that cam, and the front three is Pulisic, Donovan.
We're also
Brian.
leaving Josie Altidore though.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. That's what I was thinking that too.
I left out Josie for Brian McBride, or Eric Walanda. Like they were good strikers. I would probably go Brian. You could go Josie.
Are you talking about Wondolowski?
No, Eric, the one that was getting in a Twitter war with Hector or with Gomez from ESPN FC. Well, it's like, what's his name? Eric. It's WYAA or WYNALDA.
All right, so Pulisic, Jose, probably Dempsey at Cam, Donovan on the right, Dempsey at Cam, or Donovan.
Donovan on the left.
Left, yeah.
Pulisic on the
Donovan
right.
left.
I'd go Brian up front. Brian McBride or Eric
Jose.
Wanda.
Josie out to
I
go.
think Brian was better than Josie though.
Mm.
But you could go either way.
Dempsey at Cam.
Dempsey at Cam. I would go Bradley and probably Claudio at CDM.
Adams.
No, Claudio was better. Claudio or Tab, Ramos.
Captain Adams, though.
Yeah, still Claudio was better. Left back, DeMarcus. You gotta go Bees.
He's not better than Robinson, dude. Stop.
I don't know. Beasley was
Sam,
pretty
you're the
good.
one
For
who
Aren't you
said
the guy?
Robinson was the best left back in the Prem,
Yeah,
dude.
I think he is.
There's
one
no
of the
way.
best. But I think
Dude,
Beasley.
DeMarcus Beasley played for 100 years, but he was never better
I
than
think
Robinson.
DeMarcus was pretty good. DeMarcus
No.
was pretty good for the
No.
U.S.
That's like saying
No.
Yedlin should start on our right back, dude.
100, 125 cap, 26 caps.
Exactly. He played a long time, but he wasn't better.
You could make that argument. I'm just saying.
All right, Chad Marshall at center back.
This kid.
No.
I would go. Center backs have to be Boca Negra. Would you go Lalas? Alexi Lalas?
As much
Or
as I
would you
can't
go?
stand his
Or
stupid
would you
voice.
go? Or would you go? Who's the
Don't
other?
say Zimmerman. It's not Zimmerman.
No, it's not Zimmerman.
I know you wanted to say him, Sam, but no.
Oh,
I
Balboa. Balboa.
Rocky?
No, Marcelo. Or Gooch. Gooch.
Gooch, the one that plays for Sunderland? The
No,
one you're gonna play him a
no.
right back?
No,
I'm
no.
starting Tim
AC
Reeve.
Milan, the guy that used to play for AC Milan.
And
Gooch,
Yewu.
yeah, Gooch and Yewu.
Tim
You
Reeve.
go him.
I knew you were gonna say him, and you always pronounce his name wrong
I
every
don't know how
single
to
time.
say it.
I don't think you've ever said it correctly.
Honestly,
I
the best players of the national team, probably Dest and like Pulisic, right?
No, I would go.
Nick McIntyre.
No, you could do. I was at right back, Frank Hayduck. Come on, boys.
No, definitely
You're leaving out one of the best right backs for the U.S. and Hayduck.
The backstory behind me saying that is there were people outside of the Crew
Yeah, I
Stadium that
know.
asked about who the best players were for the national
yes,
team.
they did that. They did the.
And
na-
Dest was on there.
yes,
Oh.
they said Dest. They said
Dest
Dest
and
McKinney,
Reyna or whatever.
McKinney and Adams. No, it's definitely I would go.
POV started watching soccer in 2020.
Yeah, I would go right back. Hayduck. He was a beast in '94 and 2002. Goalies, Tim Howard, obviously.
Yeah.
You could make an argument for.
No.
You can make an argument for Schulte.
Miola or Keller or Friedel, but it's all honestly. I think for us, it's Howard. It's a 16 save.
I'm picking Matt Turner there, actually.
I think Stefan's back soon.
Oh.
Sooner than you think, boys.
Oh my
Stefan fell off the earth ever since he lost the Crew.
Sammy Howard.
Oh,
Alright.
that's a great clip.
But yeah, I think I was thinking about all the best U.S. players and who gets in there. I think there's an argument for a lot of people like Jermaine Jones. Who else? I don't even. Josie Altidore. There's like so many options.
Josie's starting, dude.
No, I still think Brian McBride's better.
No. Well, not for this team.
This man. But speaking of players that played in the Premier League, we definitely have to talk about our teams, Liverpool and Chelsea this week. Chelsea getting that dub against Nottingham Forest. Christopher Nkunku looking like the signing, like a fresh new signing that we signed. Finally healthy, finally back. You know it's true, Kirsch, because he was injured a lot last season.
New signing.
It's like having a fresh new signing. Okay? Bad news of the week. Reece James had a setback in his injuries. Hopefully he
What else is new?
has another speedy recovery. Hopefully he can get back to it. Jadon Sancho had his debut against Bournemouth. Looked pretty good. But yeah, sitting in 8th place right now. We're doing pretty good. I think we look a lot better. I like us under Enzo Maresca. Would I've liked to keep Poch? Yeah, maybe. But I like what Enzo Maresca is. He's a Pep disciple. I see a lot of what Pep does in Maresca's game. I think give him some time. It's going to take a few years, just like how Arteta had a few years at Arsenal before they got good. But yeah, I like what they're doing there. There is reports that we are going after Victor Osimhen in the winter. There is a break in his contract. If a European comes for him, he can break his loan. So I think we get that striker in January where we need it. But I think we can get through till January with Nico and the players around him, like Akunu can play up there. He's played up front before.
You guys have 100 forwards. Why do you need more?
We need proven strikers, not just forwards. Proven.
So you don't like Jackson anymore.
No, I like Jackson. I just think
You
he's
like Jackson for
he's
the first
too-
week, and then
he's-
after
You
No,
like
that,
the
I like
Jackson
Jackson.
signing,
No,
but you didn't
no,
like
hear me out.
Jackson when he started
I
seeing him on
like
the field.
Jackson. I don't think he's ready to be that out and out starter. I think we need someone to come push him.
well, you
I
just
think
gave him a
it's- I think-
4-year deal.
Yeah, but I think we need someone to come push him. I think he just too. It's kind of the same thing with certain players in the U.S. There's no one to push them for that starting spot, so they're just comfortable.
I think you just need to sell people. You have 500
I don't
players.
think you need to buy anyone else.
We've sold and loaned over 40 players this window.
Yeah, well, you need to sell more, bud.
We're
There's no
working on
players.
it. We're working on it. It's a
First-
rebuilding. Not
First-
everybody can leave right away. Certain teams have to come get them. It's not like we can just loan them out.
You're
to
just signing 10
Sunday
people
team.
every window, dude.
Yeah,
It's not
literally-
like we can loan people out
That's
to
what I was
Sunday
about to
league
say.
teams.
That's what I was
Hey,
about to say. Literally every time, if you have Fabrizio's tweets like on notification during the transfer window, every other day
One in
it's
three is Chelsea.
it's a Chelsea player every
1
time.
in 3 is a Chelsea
Yeah.
signing.
Exactly.
But yeah, back to what I was saying. Chelsea played very well. Got the win.
I
Other game-
personally do not feel like they played very well.
Well, that's your opinion.
Bournemouth had a lot of
Sancho
chances,
was a good signing, I'll give you that.
and
Thank you.
and Sanchez made the save, first one I've seen from him in a while. So
Yeah, we played pretty well. We had 67 possession, but we didn't play good. Whatever.
Bournemouth had their chances.
Yeah, they did. So did we. We just couldn't finish them because we don't have that striker. Like,
Your problem is defense, Sam. You have enough attackers. You
Our
need
defense
a
is pretty
solid
decent.
defenders.
our defense has been pretty well this year.
No, Bournemouth should have scored at least twice.
Well,
Maybe
guess
at least
what?
once.
Well,
We've
speaking
only-
of not playing well, we have to talk about Liverpool here. And unfortunately,
You guys have been
They did
dying for
lose.
this, huh?
they did lose 1-0 to 7th place Nottingham Forest on a
Who threw it,
screamer
me?
from Hudson-Odoi. You know, the Chelsea man, the former Chelsea man that of course they let go. But you know, Liverpool, not a great game from them. Caleb,
You tell
the
me you
look
let
on your face-
Hudson-Odoi leave for free or leave, and we get Cole
And hold
Palmer.
on,
I'll
Sam.
take that in a
we're
heartbeat.
talking about possession and having a bad game. Liverpool had 69% possession, and they still had a bad game. So possession isn't everything. And I know as a Barca fan that you can still lose by having a way more possession than the other team.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys
can.
lost to Celtic back in the day with
Okay,
85.
yeah.
And
Let's-
they
Let's,
had
let's
one
get it all
shot,
out.
one goal.
We're talking bad about Liverpool. Let's get it out.
It's okay. We've only been scored on one time all season. It's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
It's okay.
So,
It's okay. You guys
Liverpool.
lost to Nottingham Forest.
What is
Liverpool.
the hands over there? All right.
Liverpool. I watched the game. They played. They played okay, to say the least. It really showed that Robertson has dropped off, and he is
It wasn't even
Dropped
Robertson's
off.
fault. You're really proving you watched the game really well right now.
Hudson-Odoi literally cuts in. Robertson can't keep up with him.
From
and
the left,
Hudson-Odoi.
from the right side of Liverpool's defense, Connor Bradley came in.
Not that early.
I thought Connor Bradley was really good.
Yeah, I
He
did
was
too.
having trouble with the Doi. He really was. I have to admit it. So, I mean, he got beat by him 2 or 3 times, and I think it was the second time. You know, no goalie in the world is stopping that. So, yes, we did lose. Yes, we did dominate them. The second half was what I didn't see the first half. The second half, towards the end of the game, I saw, and it was just constant giveaways over and over again, and you can't do that against a team that's just preying on it. What?
55 years that Nottingham has not won at Anfield. That is huge for Nottingham Forest fans.
I mean, once again, they're proving that, you know, buying players actually that fit their team makes sense. Unlike Chelsea.
Sam, didn't you pick them to get relegated?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, I think he did. I think I didn't. And I don't think Caleb did either.
maybe.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
It's one game. I think
If
we'll
you
come back
think
to that.
then do you think that Slot then was in the wrong to say that there's no need to buy players because we have the best players at
Here's
each
my
position.
thought. Here's my thought.
Because that's what he said at the
Any
beginning of the
Liverpool
season.
any Liverpool manager that would come in, it could have been Poch, it could have been Tuchel, it could have been whoever it is coming in. They meet with FSG and they say, you got to defend us, but pretend like we're some brokey club that can't do anything. You're hopeless. You got to work magic all by yourself, and you get Chiesa for 13 mil. That's it. I mean,
Hold on.
oh, what?
So,
The goalie that's on loan? Are you going to talk about that? Come on.
I will say,
He's not on our.
devastating loss,
He's not at our team. He's not at our team right now.
yeah, that's fair.
Maradashvili.
But after a devastating loss, there is some good news for Liverpool, though. And
They get
Chiesa is
Chiesa?
in the squad for the UCL and is set to make his debut upcoming
And
years.
he has apparently very good stats against AC Milan, so
So
I don't think he'll start.
That could be good.
I don't think he'll start.
He
He
won't.
stayed back. He got called up for Italy, and he declined so he could train. He trained with the players that weren't on international duty, so definitely
I think
has some
Liverpool struggles in the
dedication.
UCL.
Well, that and the other good news.
We
being
struggle in
that-
the UCL.
No,
Van Dijk.
I said I think you will struggle in the UCL because I think
Why?
it all comes back to depth.
Hey,
You're
isn't
playing
Madrid
more
going to
games.
Anfield for the game?
We
Remember what
have the
happened last
we
time
have
went
the
to
best
Anfield?
we have the best European atmosphere in the whole the competition.
Yeah,
I don't really want to hear what you
guys.
guys have to say.
Remember what happened last time we went to Anfield, Casey?
Well, you have to do it
Don't
again.
bring up that to Casey. Don't bring it up to
5-2,
Casey.
buddy. We
Don't bring it
won
up-
5-2.
I see.
Yeah.
I was going to say some nice things about Liverpool and how they're looking to re-sign Van Dijk and everything, but he's probably going to leave and Salah's going to leave.
Oh,
And
but you
Arnold-
Salah's already said bye
And
bye.
Salah's gone.
After
And
No.
Alexander Arnold's going to
After the
leave.
Man U game, he said, "I'm just enjoying the moment because he knows he's
Alexander Arnold's
gone."
the new Sterling. We all know he's going to go to some big club.
Hey,
He's
hey,
probably gonna go to
guys,
Madrid in a few years.
guys, calm down. Salah literally was his negotiation tactics were added to Harvard business tactics. So he's playing mind games. He's gonna get the money. Calm down.
Yeah, and that's
Van
he's
Dijk
learning.
said he wants to sign a contract for the next 2 years.
He's going to.
Van
He's gonna-
Dijk said he wanted to sign a contract for the next 2 years. If it doesn't happen, it's because FSG is a bunch of stingy bums. That's what it is. So
No, he's not going to get as much money as you think he is.
Yeah, he's gonna
I don't
be
care.
34 by the time, or 33.
Or-
Or whatever.
Still the best center back in the
33.
world, but okay. He's not 34.
No, it said Salah. He's gonna be 33.
Salah's still
probably.
the best right winger in the world. Well, give him the money.
This season?
I can, this based off of this season. Come on.
He just torched Manchester United. He just scored for Egypt. 100 goals in 100 games for Egypt.
I think
Yeah,
Yamal's been better.
Yeah, he's not that good. Yeah, okay.
Yamal's been better this season. Come on.
I disagree.
Oh, so 3 goals and 4 assists in 5 games isn't better?
And Salah has that.
Salah has what?
He has 6 goal contributions
Yamal
for
has-
Liverpool, and he
Yamal has
got one for
five
Egypt the other day.
Yamal's 5 matches, 3 and 4. Salah is 4 matches, 3 and 3.
Plus a goal for Egypt. We'll count that too. So there you go.
Well, you
let me
forgot about
let me
Yamal
count
in
Yamal
Spain,
for
but,
Spain.
you know.
He has 1 goal and 4 assists for Spain. So
Since the new season started, are you talking about counting the Euros?
I'm counting since. Oh, sorry. After the Euros, he had 2 goals. Sorry, 2 goals, 0 assists in qualifying. I don't know for Nations League.
I'm not saying Salah. I'm not taking anything away from Salah. He's still a top 3 winger right now in the world. I'm saying Yamal's been better.
Coming from the guy that thought Rashford was better than Salah, this is hilarious.
That was a joke, dude. You know
No,
it. I was
it
playing along
wasn't.
because Sam was freaking out about it.
no.
Sam
you
was
both
pushing.
said it.
I will say Rashford had a great goal, but he's not.
You were getting
he's
so
not up there.
triggered
He's
that
not
Salah.
up there. I've been just doing it just to mess with you.
That not everyone agreed
No.
that Salah was the best.
You guys
winger.
are pulling. Okay, you guys are literally pulling a Trump. Oh, I was joking when I said it. It doesn't mean that. Come on.
Maybe like
Come on.
3 years ago when
Come
Rashford
on.
was on fire, but now since then Rashford has been terrible.
Yeah, I mean, we can go back to some of your old.
I just say it to make you mad because I know it makes you mad whenever we say like Rashford's better than
See,
Salah.
that makes you sound dumb because that makes you sound very dumb, Sam.
One person I will say that has been horrible this season for Liverpool has been Darwin Núñez. He's been bad.
He hasn't gotten his chance.
When he comes on, he
hasn't gotten his chance.
Where's the Uruguay Núñez? Where's the guy that's scoring 7 goals?
I hope he starts tomorrow, honestly.
He probably will, but I doubt he does anything because
another
he's lost
player
all
who's
confidence.
been non-existent, Cody Gakpo.
He also hasn't gotten his chance, but Luis Diaz has been on fire. What are you going to do?
Another person that has
Luis
been
Diaz before this past week.
No.
Endo, he hasn't even played. He's played like 5 minutes. He's played 5 minutes probably. But
he's played 1 minute total in the Premier League. So
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis McAllister have been so good.
What about Harvey Elliott? I thought he was amazing. He's only played 7 minutes this season.
He's injured now. So
Curtis Jones?
Curtis Jones, yeah, he hasn't played much either.
He's played 15 minutes the entire season.
I'm gonna come out here and say right now, AC Milan wins tomorrow.
Dude, stop. Just stop.
2-1.
That's an interesting take.
2-1. 2-1.
Clip that right now. Just clip it. We're going to smoke them.
2-1.
How's AC Milan done in the league this year, Sam? How have they done? Have they won yet? Did they win finally?
Yeah,
Did they win in Serie A yet?
Yes, they've won in Serie A.
Oh, who'd they play? They finally won. They hadn't won in like 5 games.
Veneza.
The team just got promoted.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey,
how's Leao and Theo not even coming over to the bench, huh? Hanging out on the other side because they don't want to put up with AC Milan's players and tactics.
Hey, after Liverpool, they play Inter, and they're going to smoke Inter too. How's Inter this season?
They're not going to get smoked by... They're going to get smoked by Inter. They're not going to smoke Inter. They're going to get smoked by Inter.
The fact that Inter's not even
Sam,
that
you're going off the walls a bit here.
I
was agreeing with you on the Liverpool stuff, but not this far.
Well, of course you do. You're so jealous because we smoked you in the Champions League a couple years ago.
Dude, always living in the past.
Yeah, always living in the past, man. He always talks about Istanbul.
That's
not Istanbul. 21 years ago.
Who cares?
It's not Istanbul. Anyways, if you guys talk about your old Champions Leagues, then I'll just say that too then. Fine.
When do I bring up the Champions Leagues? All the time.
You always bring up, PSG game, and you got the refs handing you penalties and free kicks right outside the box, left and right.
Back, they were all penalties, and you know it.
Dude,
Suarez.
We all know whenever
Suarez getting the
team
smallest
loses,
touches.
he says there's like penalties.
He got chopped, dude.
I'm not a PSG fan. I've never been a PSG fan.
You rooted for PSG over Barca before. You root over Madrid, anyone that plays Madrid. You root for anyone that plays.
No, not last season. Not last season, Scout. You're incorrect about that. He
roots for any team but Barca or Madrid. That's what he does.
You rooted for City.
He roots for
No, I didn't. That is a false statement.
He likes Valencia. He likes
Betis. He likes Valladolid. He likes Cadiz. He likes Deportivo.
All right, we're getting off the rails. I feel like the listeners
He likes Villarreal.
This is
Sevilla.
This is character assassination right here. This is character assassination. This is defamation. Defamation.
He likes Espanol.
He likes Girona. He
did like Girona last season, though.
He did like Girona. He loves
He kind of stopped with the lightning notes after they lost all their players.
This is a bunch of nonsense. This is literally just a bunch of nonsense.
Speaking of which, Man City trial started, so we'll hopefully find out if they're not guilty or not.
Well, you two Man City simps will be sad when they get charged.
To be honest, I don't think.
I'm not for them. I'm saying
not for them, but I also don't think
they're guilty. They're guilty.
You're very sympathetic.
I'll say this: if they all 115 charges, they should be relegated on the spot.
I don't think they should get relegated.
Of course you don't.
I think they should either
League 2 relegation.
115 charges. Relegation.
Dude, you have
if they're innocent,
if they get relegated, they're just going to get promoted the next year.
We need a statement saying that they're sorry
just
for holding this over their head for 5 years.
Just expel them. Don't even relegate them. Just expel them because
League
they're
2.
They're going to be relegated. If you relegate them to championship. They're just going to get promoted.
No, that's not.
Like Juve.
That's too soft.
That's what they're going to do if they do.
No,
If
the
anything,
report that came out today was there's going to be multiple seasons in a row. So like say they stay in the Premier League. Say they stay in the Premier League, and it's like 35 points, and they finish the season at like 85 or something. I don't know, whatever it is. They're still going to stay in the Prem, and then they get it again and again and again, and then they won't win a title.
It's all a plot by the FA to make the league fair again.
They'll probably what will happen is
But if they get relegated, think of all the players that would be on the market.
If they leave, or if they pull a Juve and they all stay and get promoted.
Haaland staying for City and the
Haaland
championship.
Probably won't. De Bruyne, maybe.
Diaz, Ederson, Stones.
It'll just be like Rico Lewis, Oscar Bob,
Rodri. Yeah, but think about all the money they still get relegated. They still have all that money to go out and buy. Like,
yeah, they're going to sell them for a lot less money than they would get on the regular market now.
I don't know. We never know. I just most likely they won't be relegated or expelled. They'll just get hit with a fine and probably a transfer ban.
You think Doku's going to stay? You think Foden's going to stay?
Foden
you think Kyle Walker wants to stay?
In championship, maybe.
Dude, no, none of those players want to go from the best team in the world, or at least top 2, to being a championship team.
Wait, so if they got relegated to like League One or something of England, and they win the Champions League the year they get tried,
Barca swooping up.
They'd be the only League One team. They'd be the only League One team in the Champions League ever, probably.
I didn't think about that. That's funny. Well, yeah, but you should stay in League One because we have Champions League football.
They qualify for the top 4, and then they have to get relegated still.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Yeah, well, I saw their army of lawyers, like 30 guys walking down the court area. And
well, yeah, they have a ton of money. Why wouldn't they?
I saw it was they have more lawyers than they do fans.
You know how much money they would lose if they got relegated?
Hopefully they
all
lose
the
all of
sponsorships, all the TV money.
Casey,
all
come on.
The loss of players.
Casey, they just make up new ones. Come on, we all know it.
What do you mean make up new what?
That's what one of their charges is. They weren't transparent with all these sponsorships. They were fiddling around and making up things and like shell corporation type things and all this stuff. They just make up new ones.
If they are found guilty for all these charges and they get relegated, they're going to do it again?
No, I was just joking. That would be stupid. Then the whole cycle comes back again. Yeah. Then they get relegated to like Sunday League 8 or whatever it is. National League 8.
They get relegated and then they buy all the great players in the world again and then they get relegated. But anyways, that covers everything we wanted to talk about today. You guys have anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
Definitely keep a lookout for our other podcasts, college football, NFL. Casey and I have to do an NBA one here soon. Just whenever we get to it.
Season starts in about 2-3 weeks. So.
Yeah. I gotta say, give props to Alex Morgan. She just retired over the weekend, played her final game of her career. One of the best ever, or top 3 ever women's MNT players. And then shout out to next week. We got another final for the crew and the Champions Cup going up against Club America. We'll probably get the dub in that. Easy. It's another Mexico team. They're not going to do anything. But yeah, crew suffered a tie against FCC on the weekend, which was poor performance from some of our players.